brothers, sisters, heirs, joint heirs, adopted, grafted, natural, spiritual, however you may come. Greetings. Sabbath is pretty much just about over here in South Florida. The sun is just about down. It's getting to that point. Just leaving the class and just had a wonderful Sabbath today. I want to talk about baptism as I pull away from the class here. We had a very good time today, and things went very well, extremely well. And as things went well in the baptism, all right, my brother. Good. Yeah, we did.
You gotta redo the other two monitors.
Okay.
You gotta figure out how to get them back on the same channel again.
Okay.
That's why we was out here last night trying to get that done.
Oh, okay.
All right.
But everything went well today. I had to cut the organ off. They left it on.
It never went off?
No, it's okay now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Get on safe, fish.
All right. That was a brother checking on the speakers at the class here. So I apologize for that. Baptism this morning. We got up for baptism today, and baptism was great. The weather was about 77 degrees on the beach, and I thought that was great. 77 degrees. We, two people were baptized today, and when we got inside the water, it was cold, although the weather was 77. The weather was cold, and yet we went in, and once we got inside the water, of course, you know the water is going to warm up because everybody was out there doing their thing in the water. But when we got there, it was awesome. It was great that we were able to go ahead and be the baptism to be successful. Candidates got in, and yes, the water was cold. And I thought that overall, the ocean was like a glass. There were minimal waves. I mean, minimal waves. Usually when we do baptism in the Atlantic Ocean, this time of the year, the waves are just like roaring. They're going over top of your head. We didn't get that today. And I told the two candidates, brother and sister Durham, I said, man, let me tell you, you all could not have gotten better weather. This is one of the best weathers I've seen baptism. And it was just great. I thought it was awesome to do that. So we're going to be scheduling another baptism in the future. We do have other candidates. Some are just taking this very serious, and they should, because you're entering into like a marriage, a covenant agreement, and baptism signifies, it seals that, and they are taking baptism very seriously. So it's not that they don't want to get baptized, they want to know and they want to learn everything. Of course, baptism is not a point in time where now I know everything, it's time to get baptized. Baptism is like a marriage. You don't know much about marriage, but when you go down that aisle, you just get married. You don't know much about marriage at all. You just say, I do. You don't know everything. You're not going to go in as an expert. But at the same time, these were young people, and one young lady says, I'm there, but not there yet. And I thought that was a great decision to wait, because her parents are baptized, and she's just at 20 or 21, but she says, I want to be at a level mentally that I'm making a commitment. And it's a serious commitment. And I thought that was commendable to do that. We had a young lady that was baptized in the group of the four last, it was last month in January. She was my niece. And she was she just turned 21. Although, you know, she could have done it when she was 20. She says, I decided to do it at 21. And she said, because at 21, I'm held accountable for a lot of things according to this man's law. Whether I like it or not, I will be held accountable. And she felt that I'm learning the law of the Lord. I'm learning the scriptures. And I know more about this than I do about this man's law. But yet I'm going to be held accountable anyway, just because I'm 21 years old. And she's absolutely right. That's just the way it is, brothers and sisters. So I was glad that she did it at that age. And it was great. You know, it's just what we look forward to. We have a goal this year here at Bethel to make sure everybody understands feast days. We don't want to just be observing feast days year after year after year, and people don't understand what they're doing. So this year, in the morning times at 11:30, we have teachers that have been assigned to teach feast days prior to the actual feast. So, for instance, that's not the sun. That's this big moving yellow ad that's got me lit up like this. One of those put your ad here type trucks. All right, let me get away from this thing because it's blinding me. All right, there we go. So, you know, we don't want to start just doing feast days. They don't know what they mean. You know, a lot of people start asking, and it's good to, you know, how do we observe the feast? How do we keep the feast? What should we do on the feast? More importantly than what do you do and how you should keep it is what does this feast mean? So when we get into Passover, you know, this is what Passover means. When we get to the Feast of Unleavened Bread, I want you to know this is what the Feast of Unleavened Bread means. Same thing with Pentecost. You know, we just don't want to come together on Pentecost and just have a service. We want you to know why we're there on that day, why we counted, why that day is number 50. How do we know when to start counting from? All of these things we want you to know. And we want you to know why 50. What does that mean? What does that first feast is? What is that harvest about? We want you to know that. And so in 2022, it's bigger than just coming together for the feast. We want you to have understanding, because the scripture says, in all of everything that you get and learn, get some understanding. And that's so important that you get that. We want you to know. It's like a car, okay? Why do I put synthetic oil in this engine? How come I can't put regular oil in this engine? So you got to know that particular oil, if you put regular oil in the engine that requires synthetic oil, you can mess up the engine. So that way you'll know, oh, that's why I can't put that in there. Okay? So these are the things we want you to know in this year. So we'll be coming together early in the morning not early, but around 11:30 to do a lesson for about an hour before we start praise and worship, because we do our singing at 12:30 to 1 o'clock. We bring whatever choirs and praise and worship leaders, we call them. Whatever they're going to do, they come up and they sing. Sometimes we bring soloists. Listen, I'm at a red light, and the cars in front of me are stopped, and I know it's got me looking like a tomato right now. So as soon as this light changes, I'll come back to normal color. Okay. That's what we want to do this year. I don't want to have a channel. I don't want to have a class where we're just doing things out of formality and you all don't know why we're doing it. You need to grow. You need to learn. Because when you're not learning, it becomes spiritual retardation. And we don't want you to be toward it at any level where you just, are just coming there and you're just fellowshipping. No, it's bigger than that. You have to learn. You have to know. It's incumbent upon you to know so that you can explain to somebody else. Because they will ask you. You can't just say, well, I don't know why we keep the feast days. I don't know what that feast day means, but I know it's a holy day and the Lord gave it to us. You need to know why the Lord gave it to us. You need to know why it is in the seasons that they're in, and all of that is important. You need to know the who, what, when, where, why, and how. So that's one of the things we're going to do in this year. And of course, we're still constantly trying to do our part. We have other things going on. We try to make sure that those in need have what they need, whether it's clothing and what have you. And we still deal with our senior citizens, where we go to nursing homes and go there and we take service in the Bible and teach as well. And I think that's important because a lot of times South Florida is where a lot of nursing homes are. And a lot of times, a lot of seniors, they have no family or a family that's in another state or in another county. And this was a place, maybe a nursing home in this area that gave top care. So that's why that parent is here. But nonetheless, they don't have family coming around all the time. So a lot of times when we show up twice a month, we have a team that goes there. When they show up, their faces light up. They can't wait to see Bethel coming in at the door. And they're just happy. They're happy to know that, oh, they're coming to visit me, and they want to open up the book, and they want to talk about the book. They want to sing, and that's one of the things that we have to do. But our main goal is to teach this gospel. We got to get this gospel out unto all of the four corners of the earth. Some people say, how are we doing that today? How do we reach the four corners of the earth? Well, the Lord allowed this internet to come in. I remember when the internet first came in, when I was coming up, church folk thought that the internet was the mark of the beast. Because they didn't know. Oh, that's the mark of the beast. You can't do that. Don't put that down. That's the mark of the beast. And you wonder where they got it from, because they didn't read that in the book at all. But somehow they said that it's the mark of the beast. And it's not. People today, all of those church folks are either using the internet, living off the internet, or they done passed on. But they need that internet. You need that cell phone. There's people, when you leave that cell phone at home, go on vacation, and you in the car taking the road trip. Get 2 hours up the road and realize you forgot that cell phone. You know what? You're going to turn back around and you're going to go get that cell phone. So you drove 2 hours. You realize you didn't bring it. You're going to go drive back 2 hours. That's 4 hours. And then it take you 2 hours to get back to the point that you were at when you realized you lost it. So here you are, 2 hours, and there and back, 4 hours. 6 hours done went by for that cell phone. Could you imagine being 6 hours up the road from that 2 hours? That's amazing. That's how much people depend on these cell phones. It's a much needed gadget. That's what that is. You leave your shoes. I left my shoes at home. You leave your tie. I left that tie. I'm not gonna worry about it. Even if you leave a suitcase, you would say, okay, I'm not worried about it. I left a suitcase. I'm going out of town for a week. And you say, what was in that suitcase? Man, that was a suitcase. I had my toothbrush, my shaving cream, a lotion. You know what you're going to do? You're going to go right back. You're going to just go say, well, don't worry about it. We just go to Walmart. You're driving, and quickly you come up with an answer. Leave that cell phone, you're going back home. You're going to go get it. And how do I know? Don't ask me how I know. I don't want to share any embarrassing moments. But yeah, I will go back and get my cell phone. Because on that cell phone, you got your work email on there. You got your business and personal email on there. That's your only form of contact. You got everybody's phone numbers, because you know we don't remember phone numbers anymore. And you got everything in all your photos. Now, you're not going to, that's your brain. You're going to go back home and get that. No, you're not going to leave that. You're going to go right back home and get it. And I just pray that because of that, the technology is how we get this gospel out today. That internet, cell phones, that's the mechanism we use to get this gospel out. Thank the Lord for the internet. Thank the Lord for all the platforms. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. These are all the platforms. They got one called Periscope that we can use to get this gospel out. But you got to have that internet. Got to have that internet. That internet gets shut down, my goodness. That if that internet ever gets shut down, it's like, man, who we gonna get this word out to? You only around people. Who you gonna get the word out to? Who you gonna give this message to? So yeah, we depend on the internet. And through that internet, we have a variety of platforms to get this gospel out. And I saw Brother Landley here from Alaska. Yeah, we got on this internet, on this channel right now, live, we got somebody from Alaska. Shout out to our brothers and sisters. So that's awesome. That's wonderful. We have some people that come home from Barbados, from Jamaica, from the UK. And it's awesome that we're able to commune live with individuals and get this gospel out. So that's our other goal this year, is to really get the gospel out, not only for you to understand the feast days, but to get this gospel out in every way possible, to teach as every way, through every platform, and get as much out. So we come on as much as we can, during the week, which is pretty much Monday through Friday. And out of those nights, we have the Balm of Gilead radio show on Thursday. Come on in my room on Tuesday, because those go live. There's some other shows, but they record live, but they don't go live. So they record live, they save the file, and they'll upload it at a later date. Well, because our platform is a live-only platform, that's the only way I could put a lot of people out. So shout out to those that doing stick to the script, Brothers of the Vineyard. I believe that's what they call them, Brothers of the Vineyard. Shout out to those brothers. And I don't know if they do their video live or not. I think they do, but it's during the day. Elder Melvin, shout out to him. Elder Melvin does his videos every morning. Shout out to that brother. 6:30 in the morning, that brother is working it. Oh, my goodness. Brother David East, I just saw your name pop up. Thank you, my brother. Brother David East went out there with us to the ocean today. And he and Brother Scully, let me tell you, without my own accord and by myself, no way. But with these brothers, they make it a lot safer. And when you got three people, one person on each side and one person to catch them as they're going backwards, to get them under and bring them up safely, let me tell you, shout out to those brothers. Shout out. Brother David East, I meant to ask you, I know we're supposed to be going to dinner soon, my brother. So let me know. Let me know. All right, brothers and sisters, the sun is down. I'm pulling in, backing in. I'm going to go in here and take me a nap and then get up with the family and play some board games, I don't know, Monopoly or something. So this is why it's good to just come home and just chill after a good Sabbath, take a little rest, get up, and just spend that time with family. So I want to say to you all peace and blessings, and I hope you had a wonderful Sabbath and that you're able to come together and whatever you need to do on your remaining day. We're now on the first day of the week when that sun goes down. So just enjoy yourself. Peace and blessings to you all. We'll talk to you soon.